Alright, so area of circles today. We are looking at this example of a dog and her leash. Aww. Adrienne bought an 8-foot leash for her dog. So we want to see, it's kind of hard to see in the picture, but if Adrienne is holding the leash and the dog is running completely straight as far as the dog can, and she runs in a circle, and I want to know how far she's running, would I need to calculate the circumference or the area? Why? Because running in a circle, right? The distance around the circle is the circumference. So you would want to find the circumference. Because it's the distance around the circle. Okay, what about if I wanted to find out how much room the dog has to run? So if it's not just running at an extended in a circle, if it wants to run wherever it wants to run, how could I find that? Area. Why? What does area do? Or what does it measure? The inside of something, the inside of a figure. Okay, so the area is the interior region, interior meaning inside. The interior region of a figure. When we find area, do you remember how it's measured? Isabel? Why do we do area? What do you mean?
If we do this.
Oh, so circumference was seeing how far the dog is running in a circle. Okay. This one we wanted to see how much room does that dog have to run within the hole. Like if I'm standing right here and I have my dog on a leash, how much room could that dog run? Not just in a circle. So that's area because you're finding all of that. Does that make sense? Okay, back to this. How is area measured? What? Square units. Good. It's measured in square units. Always. Doesn't matter if you're finding the area of a triangle or a square or a circle or anything. It's always measured in square units. So what is one thing in the real world that you would need to find the area of that's in the shape of a circle? A pizza. How much pizza are you eating? Okay. Something else? Clock. The face of the clock, right? Are you running around the track or are you running all inside the track? Around the track would be an example of what? Circumference. So that's a good example for number 4. But it wouldn't be area. If you're running on the inside of a track, maybe that would be area. A pool. Yeah. How much water is in that pool? Or how much water can fit in the pool? Okay. What about another example of something for circumference? A what? A lap around the pool, yeah. We could do that. What about something in the game of basketball? Court. The rim, the basketball rim, right? That would be circumference. See how big the rim is. inside of a donut? Like how big the hole is? Okay. The size of the hole of the donut. Alright, so obviously there's lots. So if I need to find the area of the circle, of course there's going to be a formula. So our formula is right here. A equals pi r squared, not pi r2. That is pi r squared. So if I give you the diameter, can you plug in D for R? Is D and R the same thing? No. So if you have the diameter, you're going to have to use what we learned yesterday to find the radius, okay? Because you only have one formula here. Circumference, you had two formulas. But for area, you only got one formula that only includes the radius, okay? Alright, so here's an example if I want to find the area of this circle. This 2 inches, is that a radius or a diameter? That's a radius, so you know R. Formula is pi r squared, so you just want to plug in that 2, which is your radius, and for R. Using your order of operations, you do need to calculate the exponent first before you multiply by pi. But you can probably do all of this in your calculator, and it'll do it for you. Because we're still working with pi here, pi is an estimated, it's a rounded number, so our area is still going to be just approximately 12.56 square inches. So you're still using that squiggly equal sign. Okay. So you can look at example number 2 if you need to, but we're going to go on down to A and do one for ourselves. So find the area of a circle with the radius of 3.2. Round to the nearest tenth. So what is the formula I need to use here? A equals pi r squared. I want to use 3.14 for pi. So 3.14 times r squared. R is 3.2. So if you want to multiply all this in your calculator, just make sure that you're doing that exponent first, and then hit times 3.14. And what does that give you? 32.15. Is that rounded to the nearest tenth? 32.2. And what would it be? 32.2 what? Centimeters squared. Good. Any questions on that? Not too bad. Okay, example number 3. It says find the area of a face of a Virginia quarter with a diameter of 24 millimeters. Use 3.14, round to the nearest tenth. So again, remember my formula is A equals pi r squared. Do you know what R is right off the bat? Did they give you R? They gave me D. So that means I need to find R. So how do you do that again? D divided by 2. The D is 24, so 24 divided by 2, what is your radius? 12. Okay. So that is how they got this 12 right here. Because they're doing pi r squared, you had to find R first, which was 12. Okay. And then it's all the same. So example B, it says the bottom of a circular swimming pool with the diameter of 30 feet is painted blue. How many square feet are blue? So they gave me the diameter, so again, what do I need to do first? Find the radius. So R equals D divided by 2. D is 30. So 30 divided by 2. What is your radius? 15. So now can I find area? So we've got pi r squared. Pi is 3.14. R is 15. So what is my area? 706.5. Do we all agree? 706.5 what? Square feet. Yes, sir.
When you're finding your radius and it just gives you the diameter,
Mm-hmm.
can you just skip all the writing and just do 30 divided by 2?
Fine with that. We good? Alright. What is a semicircle? Half of a circle. So it only makes sense for your formula to be 1/2 of the regular formula of a circle, right? So if you have a semicircle, A equals 1/2 pi r squared. Or pi r squared divided by 2. So example 4, you're finding the area of the semicircle, so this area that's shaded. They give you the diameter, so again, you have to find the radius first. So r would be 16 divided by 2, which is 8. So that's how we got this 8. So then you are just all multiplying. So 1/2 times 3.14 times 8 squared, and you have 100.5 square inches. Find the approximate area of a semicircle with a radius of 6 centimeters. So do I need to find the radius, or was it already given to me? It's already given to you in this case, so you don't have to find it. So my formula is A equals what? 1/2 pi r squared. So you've got 1/2 times 3.14 times 6 squared. So what's your area? 56 point what? Do we all agree with that? Is that my final answer? Centimeters squared. Any questions? Good? Okay. I want y'all to do number 1, 3, and 4 on your own right now, and then we'll check them. You can do 2 if you want to, but it's basically the same as 1. So do 1, 3, and 4. On 1 and 3, you're rounding to the nearest tenth, so make sure you're doing that. You finished? Okay. What's your area for number 1? Good. 78.5 square centimeters. What about number 3? Good. 201 meters squared. So you had to find your radius, which was 8. And then plug that in your formula. Rounding to the nearest tenth, that's how we get 201. Okay. Questions on those two? Number 4 is a semicircle. So what's your formula for that? 1/2 pi r squared, or pi r squared divided by 2. Okay. You were giving your diameter, so you had to find your radius, which was 7. So then when you multiply everything together, you get 76.93. I went ahead and just rounded it up to 77, but it doesn't matter what you did because it does not specify. Any questions on that? Not too bad? You don't have to do number 5 or number 2 if you don't want to. You can go ahead and just flip over and start at number 1. You got 1 through 22. I do want to see your work. You don't have to write it out this in depth that I do, but I do want to see where you plugged your numbers into your formula. Okay. Oh, 19. Yeah, sorry. Yesterday was 22. Today's 19. So make sure you are showing your work. You can skip number 14 if you would like.